This is Paranormal Short Session 3 by Keith Evans. I'm at home with the brand new Onvoy Ghost Box by Ghost Stop. Hello. Alright, I'm going to ask just one ghost or spirit to use the Ghost Box. I'd like to ask the ghost or spirit that turns down my media if you could let the people at home know how you feel. I'm asking you to dig down deep and become motivated. You know, this is a technical piece of equipment. You might not be able to operate it. You might just choose nonsense. So, I'm asking you to dig down deep and try to learn this piece of equipment to tell the people who are watching this at home what you actually think about me. Now, there's a lot of negative words that are only 4 or 5 letters, so it shouldn't take you all day. You ready? All right. On your marks, get set, go. So for anyone that just tuned in, I'm watching the Obelisk 5. I've asked the ghost of spirit here that lives here in my new apartment and doesn't seem to care too much for me, playing my media too loud and keeps turning it down for me. I'm asking them to learn to use the the Onvoy by Ghost Stop, and use it in a way to tell the people who are watching what they think about me. He or she should be able to do that in like 4 or 5 words. Or letters, I'm saying. 4 or 5 letters. And I'll explain it to the ghost or spirit. You have to choose the letter by tapping. That's what's turned on at this point in time. It should only be the tapping device. Well, let me check. Yes, the tapping is the only one turned on, but let me make sure. This is tapping here. So make sure that these are turned. Yep, they're turned all the way down. Now tapping is turned all the way down when it's in this position. I can turn it up further, but it means that the little circulating choice button goes faster, and the faster it goes, it's more apt to make mistakes. PX. All right. In the military, a PX. Okay, I kind of like that. Because the apartment I'm in now used to be used by the military. And PX is a place where people go to get their groceries. Post Exchange should have a store like Walmart. So it's usually separated by a wall, but usually they have everything that you would need, from linens to toiletries to electronics, records, electronic media, whatever they call that now today, where you can listen to music. So PX, that makes sense. I appreciate that. I didn't see your choice of P, but it's showing up there. And actually the PX is right down the road from where I live. Probably about a little over a block. They're not perfect blocks, but in description, it's now being used as a commercial property. But private use, commercial property. So that used to be the PX back in the day. I don't know if it's the same building sitting there now, but it's the same location where the PX was. And post exchange in the Army is your PX. And during World War II, the apartment that I'm in now was utilized by the officers that were training the World War II soldiers to go into Normandy for the landing. They trained during their amphibious landings here at the, it used to be called Camp Gordon Johnson when the Army had it. But shortly after World War II ended in 1945, they gave the, I don't know if they sold the property or placed it back into civilian hands. So, what was your rank when you were in the Army? It could be that the ghost of spirit that's said PX is not the ghost of spirit that is turning down my media. It could be, but they're letting me know that are related to the military. That P doesn't seem to be coming out good for some reason. Let me zoom in or out. Well, it's definitely PX. Do you remember the old officers club that used to be here? I was told in the 90s the walls were still there and they wanted to buy it and turn it into the museum for Camp Gordon Johnson. And when that fell through, the walls were torn down. And it's just been a vacant lot ever since. You can still see the cement slab, even though it is private property now and there's stuff parked on the cement slab, kind of using it like a parking lot. If anyone at home knows another meaning for PX, since I asked a ghost or spirit to tell me how they felt about me, PX is an Army term, so it could be I have a ghost or spirit that just wants to communicate about the Army. So let's switch gears and talk about the Army. Um, I was a sergeant in the Army. What was your rank? Or were you a non-commissioned officer or a NCO? I mean, or an officer. NCO is a non-commissioned officer. Or were you an officer? Commissioned officer? Well, that didn't come off the tongue smoothly. Do you remember what your E grade was? I was an E5. Did you survive World War II? Now, see, today it's very disciplined. You know, I just got two words: PX. I think it depends on the ghosts that you have, and if they're cooperative. If you're someplace and you have 100 ghosts there, waiting to say something, and they all want to choose the first letter of their word, you're probably not going to do too well. Well, I'm going to end for now, and I'm happy to get PX. I'm sure the ghost or spirit is out of energy. And this has been Keith Evans. Today is the 28th of May, 2022. It's a Saturday, and this has been Paranormal Short Session 2 by Keith Evans at home with the brand new Onvoy Ghost Box.